What is up, everybody? It is the opening game for the Orlando Magic. Huge game coming up today. The Heat are facing off against the Magic. I'm going to be giving you a couple rundowns and opinions from a fellow fan. Like, not all the pregame shows get stuff like this. So, before we start it, let's get started. The Miami Heat. Let's give a little slight preview of the Miami Heat. This is more specifically an Orlando Magic pregame show. But the Miami Heat are a team that just came off of a fresh NBA Finals game, so they're the last team to play. And I know that's not going to have any effect on any team, but it's still kind of a big deal. It really is to see teams do that. And the Orlando Magic, though, are coming off of a first round exit in 5 games versus the Milwaukee Bucks. A couple of the players that were returning, Orlando Magic just signed a couple players to extensions, while the Heat are doing similar things. A couple of surprises here. I'm going to give my reaction to the Jonathan Isaac trade. So, as a Florida Gators fan, it kind of stinks to see that trade being done, but we will see how that actually works. To the credit of the Orlando Magic, they actually spend money. And as being a fan of fellow Florida teams, that is not something that happens all the time. Let's take a look at the Orlando Magic roster. You have Farquhar Aminu. So Farquhar Aminu, who's kind of a guy who averages maybe 6-7 points per game, 6-7 rebounds per game. I don't really expect him to do much. But a couple new guys that we have are Cole Anthony, Dwayne Bacon. Cole Anthony and Dwayne Bacon. Cole Anthony, the little bit he played in the preseason, the little bit I've seen him playing in North Carolina, he's that type of player that just shoots when he wants to shoot. He doesn't care if he's a rookie. He cares that he's playing NBA basketball. You got to give him a lot of credit on that. Cole Anthony is a huge, huge presence. Not a big, tall guy, but he's from North Carolina where basketball is made. He's 6'3". He's 20 years old. He was the 15th pick for the Orlando Magic. So, let's see how that's a player to watch. Maybe even being the best player in the Magic as a rookie. So Cole Anthony is a guy that you have to watch out, who I'm actually happy of. I'm usually not a big fan of how the Magic draft, but I'm happy with the Cole Anthony signing. Dwayne Bacon, he's from Auburn, the university, actually no, Florida State, is part of my French. And he, as a Florida fan, I have to do that joke. He was drafted back in 2017. He's about a 5.6.4 rebound guy, average. Not just an average player. We have a lot of those types of players. We don't really have a star on the team, and that is something that is big. I hope to get these pregame shows big enough so you guys can answer my questions with me. Then you have Mo Bamba, who's not having the best season with the Magic. I mean, he's a big, tall dude, blocks shots, but he's not exactly my type of player. He's not a presence in the center. He's 7 foot exactly, tall, skinny boy, and he is averaging only about 15 minutes a game. That is a disappointment, big time, since he was a very high draft pick. It's it's disappointing, but he was the 6th overall pick in the draft, and you're only playing 15 minutes. Not my favorite. Not my favorite at all. Blocks per game, though, are 1.38, which is great, but you're not going to win games with a guy who just blocks a lot. That's just not going to happen. 3-point percentage, he hasn't taken very many threes, is 32.8%. He's averaging 4.91 points. Let's get that straight. 4.91 points per game. And let's talk about the people we just signed to an extension. Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac is a Florida State man too, just like Dwayne Bacon, and he is a very interesting player. He had a very good time in the bubble, but he does still not average a lot of points per game. He's a very good rebounder, I would say. 11.9 points per game is what he averages. That's not something that's great. That's a very average. That's not star-studding Like it's good. It's good. 11.9 points per game is good. It was up from his career average, but still, he's not a major presence. He averages 28, 29 minutes a game, shoots 34% from three, so that's not bad. Still, like I would say he's a player to watch. He's only 23. He's one of our best players. So watch for Jonathan Isaac. A veteran presence who has been with the Magic, who's looking to improve off of kind of a struggling year last year, Nikola Vucevic. Nikola Vucevic, 30-year-old buddy. He's a center for the Orlando Magic, but doesn't really play like a center. Um, he averages, the career, 19.6 points per game last season, up from his career average of 16. So he's been improving, just like Isaac. I'm looking for improvement. He's, I guess you could say, our best player, the one who executes and who plays to his potential. I would say even plays above his potential. Players that are not playing to his potential, in my opinion, Jonathan Isaac. Also, we're going to talk about our most improved player. Vucevic shoots 33.9% from three. I watched only the part of the 4 preseason games, and he was very, very, very interesting with his 3-point shooting. His stroke looked better. Don't get me wrong, but he was shooting less threes, which I don't know what to make of that. But he leads the team in minutes per game with 32. So, yeah, I would say he's our best all-around player because he also averages 11 rebounds per game and about 3 assists. So, yeah. Now let's go to who our most improved player. That's going to be yeah, I'm looking for him right now. Let's just get rid of these guys first. So DJ Augustine, player who's been with the Magic forever, never really comes through, never really does anything. Evan Fournier, I just really wish he wasn't on the team. I'm sorry. He has a big following in France, being an NBA player, but I'm just not a big fan. His 3-point percentage is 39.9. Pretty good, right? That's really good, yes. But he his stats don't look bad, but he's not really a good player, that fun player. He's not great in terms of okay, his career stats look great, but he struggled a lot last season during the bubble. That's a fun way to say. He had a very poor time in the bubble. Hopefully, it's just for the environment, but I'm just not a fan. When I played a little bit of basketball, I guess I was kind of like the Evan Fournier. I could shoot, but I couldn't really do much else. So that's how you talk about that. So yeah, he doesn't really do much else. He doesn't really assist, rebound. He just scores, and he struggled to score last year. So that's the rundown at Evan Fournier. We're going to be looking for them. So what are the keys to tonight's game? I'm sure you all are wondering that. Well, the keys to tonight's game is to make sure that we do not that we need to win the rebound. That's a very hard thing to ask when you're playing the Miami Heat, but we need to win the rebounding. That is something that the Magic have struggled doing. They've struggled fouling, having a big time presence in the center of the court, and they need to do that today. They really do. They need to get Aaron Gordon going, who's struggled over the bubble. He only averaged 14 points a game last year. Not good. Rebounds only around 7, assists only at 3. So not well. So we need to get Aaron Gordon going. We need to get Evan Fournier back to the sharpshooter who he was. We're past the draft. We needed to get. I'm fine with Cole Anthony, but those poor draft decisions in the past really affected the Magic a lot, and that is why we need the drafting the capability in terms of long term. But tonight, keys to the game: win the rebounding. Number one, keys to the game: maybe fouling a little bit more. We just let too many players go down to the court. And that's something that we need to realize. We need to play to our potential. Not very much potential, but I would say if you add all the stats and add all the dirty stats together, we are probably be projected to lose by around 6 or 7 points. If you just look at the Heat's players and the Magic players. So, all right, let's go to the Miami Heat roster and let's compare them. All right. They have a lot of tall players like Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. They have a lot of veteran presence like Andre Iguodala, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk. They also have a lot of nice young players like Gordon Dragic, Tyler Hero, more veterans like Udonis Haslam. So they have a lot of different. We have a lot of more younger players. We do have our veterans, but our veterans are not good. Evan Fournier is not a good veteran. He's not a defender. But they have a lot of good veterans, and they have a lot of good rookie young players. Not exactly rookies, but first, second, third year players. So yeah, if you're going to talk about who has more well-known players, you're going to pick the Miami Heat. It's that simple. So obviously, they also probably have a better coach than us. I'm a Steve Clifford fan, but as being an unbiased reporter, Eric Spoelstra is a better coach than Steve Clifford. Isn't that right? Eric Spoelstra is definitely better. If you want to take a look at the Orlando Magic versus team stats versus last season, yeah, you're gonna see the Heat having better stats, but the Heat did overperform last year, and we're expecting to see a little bit more playing to their ability. So let's go through the team stats lineup. The total team stats versus the Heat last season, the Magic scored an average field goal percentage against the Heat was 43.7%. No, not sorry. Average scoring percentage against the Heat was 42.4%. The average scoring percentage against the Magic for the Heat were 46.3. So you got 42.4 and 46.3. So the Heat had a better average scoring. 3-point percentage, 40.8 against the Magic. The Magic whopping 34.1. So they're winning indefinitely against field goal percentage. Free throw percentage, not a mind-boggling drop. Rebounds. $43.5 Heat against the Magic. In the Magic, we're at. Oh, this is an average. Sorry, team averages 39.8. So they aren't that much better than us. I'd like to see points per game. So the Magic against the Heat averaged 99.8 points per game. And the Heat against the Magic averaged 104. So it's not much of a difference. We are more overperforming. We actually have I like Steve Clifford, but if I have to pick, I would say Eric Spoelstra, obviously. But Steve Clifford's a very good coach. A little bit different than Doug Marrone and the Jaguars. So Steve Clifford, he knows how to overperform. He's a very good coach. I have nothing against Steve Clifford. I want to keep him. If he just had better players, better drafting decisions, the Magic would be a lot better where they are. Better expectation. Our fan base isn't that big. So the Miami Heat, on the other hand, have been underperforming against the Magic. So that's just what I'm looking at today. Let history from last year repeat for itself. But we're going to need two players to have big games that don't usually. We're going to need to be Aaron Gordon and Nikola Vucevic. Jonathan Isaac, I would not say a player who doesn't usually have big games. Last year he did. So we're going to need to be Aaron Gordon and Evan Fournier. We're going to need Evan Fournier to make 35 to 40% of his threes. We're going to need Aaron Gordon to rebound 6 out of the 7 balls that come to him. 5 out of the 6. So it's going to be one of those games that we're going to need overperforming, but we've done it. I mean, if you take a look at both teams, the fact that we're just a little bit below the Heat and all those stats, and a couple of them were above them, and that's a good thing because our players, not as good. Our coaching, probably not as good. So, yeah, that is really going to be your pregame show for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Here, actually, before we end it, My prediction for the game: the Magic versus the Heat, opening night. I'm going to go to the Magic, 106 to 98. That's right. Magic win 106-98. The two leading scorers for the Magic, Jonathan Isaac, Nikola Vucevic. So yeah, it's going to be a big game in the Amway Center. Just wish I could be there, but COVID and all that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys back here for the post-game show reaction. It's going to be coming in a video. It's not going to be in a live chat. So yeah, thank you guys very much. And I'll see you guys in the post-game show. Go Magic.